Thank you. Good morning, everyone. I'm going to bring back to order this meeting of the Public Education Commission. We are on day 2. It is Tuesday, December 10th, and it is 8:03 a.m. Before we begin, I'm going to ask if there's anyone who needs to recuse themselves. I know. I wanted to do the recusal first because I would forget it if I went any longer. Commissioner Beck, will you take roll, please?
Absolutely. Commissioner Burt,
Here.
Commissioner Taylor.
Yes.
Welcome, Michael.
Thank you.
Commissioner Manus.
Yes.
Good to not see you, KT. Commissioner Brower.
Present.
Commissioner Ingham.
Yes.
Commissioner Kosasilic. It's only Tuesday. Vice Chair Carrillo.
Here.
Chair Gibson.
Here.
Secretary Beck. There is a quorum of 8.
Thank you very much. So the first school this morning is Taos Integrated School of the Arts. So just so that you're, the first thing that we will do, the Charter School Division will give their report and recommendations. And then if there's anyone from tribal community that wishes to give input, we reserve time out for them. And then you'll have your time. Correct. You have opportunity for public comment after you do your presentation. So whenever you're ready.
Good morning, Chair Gibson and Commissioners. My name is Cheryl Rowe, ROWE, Authorizing Practices Administrator for the Charter Schools Division. I'm here to provide the PED evaluation for Taos Integrated School of the Arts. Taos Integrated School of the Arts opened in 2010 with the Public Education Commission as their authorizer. This is their 3rd renewal application with the PEC. The course of study at TISA is based on an arts integrated curriculum that is multicultural and meets all Common Core state standards. Rich Graywolf has served as director of TISA for 10 years, and Linda Sato, one of the founders of the school, serves on the governing board and is currently vice principal at TISA. CSD's renewal visit took place on October 10th, 2024. Missy Brown and I visited the school in person, and Martika Davis and Ken Norris visited remotely. The Charter Schools Division recommends that Taos Integrated School of the Arts be renewed for a term of 5 years without conditions. Recommendation is based on the record of the school's performance over the course of the contract term, the renewal application, which highlights adult actions and programs in the service of student progress, and verification of those programs and adult actions during our renewal site visit and annual visits. Taos Integrated School of the Arts has been a spotlight school for the past 3 years that ratings have been available, with an additional designation of excellence for attendance, a rarity in New Mexico schools in recent years. The school consistently outperforms the state and district in reading, math, and science proficiencies. If you examine the school's financial and organizational performance framework ratings over the term, you notice a sea of green. The very few working to meet ratings have not been repeated, and there have been no ratings of does not meet. The overall fiscal and organizational management has reflected exceptionally responsible, conscientious, and healthy stewardship over the course of the term. The school's ratings on Part B of the renewal application are as follows. They met the standards in nearly all areas: student outcomes, mission-specific goals, educational program, financial compliance, equity and identity, tribal consultation, and other performance framework indicators. The school demonstrates substantial progress in one area, governance responsibilities. And I should note that they nearly had a perfect record in this category. They were very close to meets. The board completed all training hours every year except for FY22 and had only 1 late notification over the course of the charter term. The leadership and board set a high standard for themselves in the school, which is evident in their excellent record on all levels: academic, organizational, and financial. They hold high expectations for the students as well, while tending to the full range of their needs. Students report that they feel safe, welcome, deeply cared for, and enjoy celebrating the variety of cultures at TISA. The expectations are high, but with the skillful integration of the arts and cultural responsiveness, the curriculum and tone of the school has a playfulness that cultivates a true joy of learning. Students report that they look forward to coming to school. They can't wait to see what they will do and learn the next day. Isn't this what school should be like? Thank you.
Thank you. So do we have anyone tribal input?
I don't see anybody's hand up
Okay.
for tribal input. You want to do tribal?
Oh, okay. Sure. So let me just remind everyone, before you speak for the first time, if you will state your name, spell your last name, and then just identify the role you have with the school.
Oh, this will work. Forgive me for if I don't stand for very long. I apologize.
You could,
Good morning, commissioners and Public Education Department. My name is Yvonne C. Trujillo, and I am not only the governing board president, but I am also the Indian Education Act liaison. And I must apologize, well, before I move further, my last name is spelled Trujillo. And I must apologize that our tribal officials, I did invite them to come. However, the end of the year, as some of you know, is also closing of the year. So they're bombarded right now with a lot of traditional things, not to mention business as well. So unfortunately, we couldn't have anybody commit to us today. But if you don't mind, I want to just read my statement here real quick. My name is Yvonne C. Trujillo. I am the Indian Education Act liaison and governing president for Taos Integrated School of the Arts. I am a tribal member from Taos Pueblo and also am half Tesuque Pueblo. It is an honor to be here with you all today. I'm here to speak on the IEA grant, which was implemented at TISA during the 23-24 school year and has already proven to be an inspiring success while offering a transformative impact on both the local and the educational scene. Through a unique blend of cultural sensitivity, rigorous academics, and commitment to preserving Indigenous knowledge, this initiative has revitalized the educational experience for Native American students in our school. We currently have 26 Native students attending our school, which consists of Alaskan Native, Navajo, Okewinge, San Felipe, Lakota, Jicarilla, and Taos Pueblo. Excuse me. The program goal is designed to respect and reflect the traditions and values of the community, empower all of our students by fostering a deep sense of pride in their heritage, while also preparing them for the challenges of the modern world. In addition, TISA has hired two after-school tutoring teachers for our kids to help them with any issues that they may have if they have math or reading, whatever they need some help on. While still in elementary/middle school, we believe opening their eyes to community colleges and universities to start forming some thought on how they can serve their people and communities some days. Just to give you an idea, recently we took them on a field trip to the open houses at Santa Fe Community College and IAIA, the Institute of American Indian Arts. And we've also been working with NMSU, again, putting it in their mind that it's important that college is at their fingertips and they can do it. We have also been focused on creating an environment for our Native kids to feel comfortable in their school by having an land acknowledgement celebration with wooden artwork acknowledging this with a pre-settlement view in the hallway. While also hearing the words of wisdom that were shared by our tribal officials and celebrating our friendship dance with the entire school guests and faculties. We put up paintings in the hallways by local tribal natives, again, trying to make them feel at home, make them feel comfortable. And also providing native themed books for them to read. So like when they do book reports, it's something that they will not only learn about their history, about different native history, but also to turn in a book report as well. And then also excel in their reading levels because it's something that they're familiar with and comfortable with. We emphasize on the preservation and revitalization of Native culture by having had a Rock Your Mox Day and showing your Native pride by wearing your ribbon, shirt, and skirts day, and having a local tribal member come in and teach them traditional hand games, which focused on skill, critical thinking, cultural awareness, and physical activity and teamwork. We invited Indigenous professionals, which were financial entrepreneurs and athletics, talking to them about, um, their financials as they get older, what to think about, those kind of things, and basically letting them know that nothing is beyond their reach. We've had Native performers come in to share our various cultures with our non-Native students and faculty so that we can understand one another and also at the same time showing them that while there is a modern science, there's also a indigenous science which we can combine and work together. So like for climate change, we can help put our minds together and share our indigenous knowledge with them. To filming our elders. Our kids last year or at the beginning of this year recorded two of our tribal elders. It was called Our Elders Speak. And they wanted to notate and document what was the most important thing that the elders wanted younger generations to, what did they want them to know before they left. And it was culture and language. And coming back and helping your people. Those were the three big things. And the kids documented this. It went to the Film Prize Junior, and it won an award there. And then the film was also sent to California for the Native Americans things, where it also placed in the top 10 categories there. And this was all the kids doing that they had done. That was their idea and their work. What this has done is has opened up new avenues for cultural expression and academic achievement. It has created new bonds, not only amongst our Indigenous children, but with our schools, our tribal officials, and our community. The success of the IEA at TISA is a testament to the importance of the community-driven educational reforms. It has not only improved the academic outcomes for our kids, but has also strengthened the bond between students and their cultural roots, which we proudly shared with our tribal officials, and they were really happy to see that as well. As a result, our Native students' grades have improved and they are displaying signs of more confidence while proudly sharing a strong sense of identity and readiness to take on leadership roles in both their communities and the wider society. Overall, the Indian Education Act at TISA stands as a powerful example of how tailored education policies can bridge the gap between tradition and progress, fostering a generation of students who are proud of their heritage and prepared for the future. In conclusion, I would like to thank you all for providing us with this time today and would appreciate your consideration to foster the program by renewing the charter for another 5 years, and that we may continue to share and show our Indigenous children that they can balance two worlds and can still and be confident in those two worlds. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Whenever you're ready.
Oh, well, okay, I'm done. Thanks. Think we can go home now? This way I don't
We're
go.
good.
Good. Yeah.
You can vote.
So I just wanted to go ahead and actually have an opportunity to kind of celebrate and talk about some of the things that we've done here at our school. So next slide. Is that what I'm gonna have to do? Is say next slide?
It is, I will do my best.
No problem. I'll do my best to go ahead and say next slide. I wanted to go ahead and talk about some of the things that we have to celebrate. We've had a continued focus on our academic rigor. 2 years ago, we noticed that as many schools did, that we were having a decrease in our math. And so one of the things that we did last year is that we hired Linda Sato to go ahead and help us with making sure that we were doing our math program with fidelity. We did not change our math program. Yes. Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize. Thought everybody just knew me.
It's on TV.
Okay, so I do various roles, but I'm not that big yet. But my name is Rich Greywolf. I am the director of TISA. My name is spelled Greywolf. Thank you. I often forget to introduce. I just start talking. Sorry, it's the Italian and Sicilian and Irish background. Wanted to say one of the things we did is that we noticed that we were having a problem with our math. We were decreasing as many other schools were right after COVID. Um, when we had our second year of decrease, because we were kind of concerned about that, we hired on Linda Sato. She went ahead and took the program, made sure that that teachers were doing it with fidelity, teaching the program, which was everyday math at the time. Went ahead and also got signed up with the high dosage tutoring. They only gave us one grade, which was sixth grade. We had that as well. And in the 1 year that we had Linda Sato, we were able to increase our math score 7%. So we did that within 1 year. Our hope is to continue at that rate. As you know, growth for each year, you want to go ahead and see anywhere between 3 and 7%. That's where the average is. If it's above that, that usually means that you're cheating. But otherwise, your 3 to 7% is the academic growth that you want to go ahead and see. We traditionally are anywhere between 5 and 7 with our reading program as far as overall achievement. But math, for whatever reason, was going down, and so we went ahead and did that. We also became a structured literacy school. This will be our third year of structured literacy. We did see a decrease in our reading, but part of that is because we're using a new program. We have brand new teachers that are in the program, and of course, they're being trained in this new style of reading. So our hope is that we'll have those continued results of growth. When I first started, we go on to the brief history, which is the next one. Just to let you know, the school was founded about 15 years ago by Linda Sato. We had 2 campuses where I was driving back and forth. I had numerous speeding tickets because I was also the school nurse, which was hilarious to go ahead and go in town, as well as forgetting to put on my seatbelt. By the way, New Mexico is really picky about wearing your seatbelt, and you need to wear it. Make sure all of you do. When we went from there, we were actually at one point in a plumber's parking lot, which was a lot of fun. But our school continued to thrive. We were able to 6 years ago to build a permanent campus where we're at now. We were struggling for the longest time to get 175 students. We were at about 160. We are now at 215 students with a waiting list in all our grades. We're at capacity. We only have one student. The only reason we're down one is because unfortunately a student came in, applied, and then didn't show up for 10 days. So we have to withdraw that student. But otherwise, we have a full waiting list in all our grades. We have been, when I first was at the school the first year, 15 years ago, we were a D school. That was our report that we had gotten. Within 1 year, we went from a D to a B. Then we went from a B to an A. And then they decided that the ABDCD system was too complicated for parents to understand. And so they came up with the new system, which is the Spotlight system, which we've been a Spotlight school ever since we've had that designation. With our growth, we went from one sped teacher to 3. We now have 3 special education teachers. We went from contracted employees in our specials to all employees are licensed. So we have an employee for PE, we have Spanish, we have PE, STEAM, Spanish, a art teacher, and performing arts, which are all at the school. We are on to the next page. Next slide, please. And the next slide. So just to go ahead and go through, we had our increase in our maths. Next slide. I keep forgetting to say next slide. I was just talking. Well, I could talk about this briefly. I think one of the things that we have here at our school that we've been really that's been really successful for us is that we've been able to find teachers. I don't know how it has been for everybody else, but I know at the high school that is in Taos Municipal School District, they actually have subs in those classes. I know because my son is a senior and he has 2 subs on his schedule that are in there. We have no subs. All of our teachers are licensed. We have all those teachers there. We have individuals that are here that want to be here. We were recruited from individuals that we know within the community. So the person that you see in the center there, that's kind of pointing to her, that's our Spanish teacher. I found her from a former speech teacher that we had that said, "Hey, my daughter knows a friend who's in Spain who used to go to Taos High School, and I'm pretty sure she has a Spanish degree." So I went ahead and found out how to use WhatsApp and tracked her down and convinced her to leave Spain to come back to Taos to teach Spanish. So we work really hard to make sure that we have what we need at the school, and we really rely on our community, and we utilize our communication skills with our community members to find those individuals that are there. And next slide. The other thing that we've done is that we have TISA aides, educational assistants. These are people that have lived in the Taos community, have been educational assistants for a long time over at the district schools. They were kind enough to leave the district school and take a chance on us and came over, and I convinced them, I don't know to their chagrin or not, to become teachers. And one of them have gotten their teaching license, and the young lady in the foreground there, she is working on finishing up this year, and she will also be a licensed teacher. So we really try to grow the individuals that are there, so we have people that are from the community to work in our community. Next slide, please. One of the things I have to say, and I think that everybody sees that, is our staff really cares about our kids. I could show you a ton of pictures. My wife insisted that I show me in my Macho Man costume, and I said, no, I'm not putting that in the slide. She tried to slip it in a couple of times, and I was able to take it out. But yes, matter of fact, for the last one, what we did is for our turkey trot, I dressed in a giant turkey costume and chased the kids. And parents told me that they were very upset with me because they had to spend a lot of money because their kids went around the circle to go ahead and get the trot. So we were able to go ahead and raise money. Next. One of the things that we do is we do Student of the Month, and we base it on our TISA our TISA pillars. With those are individuals every month that we go ahead and celebrate in every classroom. We celebrate students that are showing are part of our TISA pillars. And is the video in there or no? No. Great. So one of the TISA pillars that we have, maybe? No, it didn't show it. Nope. All right. So the TISA pillars are thoughtfulness, integrity, scholastic, and attentiveness, and art. And any individual that goes ahead and has those things, we celebrate them at a once a month community, and we celebrate all those kids in front of their parents. Parents come out, and we have a huge celebration for them. I put this picture up because this is one of our former students who came back. She wants to be an artist. She's now going over to the Santa Fe School of the Arts. And she came back specifically to wanting to paint that dragon on our fence. That's the young lady that went ahead and did that. Our logo that we have, if you ever have an opportunity to go ahead and look at it, I think it's on the next slide. That logo was actually designed by a student at TISA in 2016 and has ever since been our logo, and that's the thing that was there. That young lady has now gone on to Miss Haley Chandler is now a art therapist, is what she does from there. She always wanted to be an artist, came to our school. Next. We integrate art in all of our classrooms and things that are there. I could have shown a ton of different pictures, but I'm trying to keep your time and realize that Linda at some point is going to want to talk, and Nicole, and then I go, oh, I talk too much many times, so trying very hard to go ahead and not do too many slides. Next. We have many visiting artists, and I just wanted to go ahead and read to you some of the things that we've done just in the 5 years that we've We've been here before when we left for our first charter and realized it's not really 5 years because COVID, we had no visiting artists during COVID. We have done a lowrider competition where students went ahead and designed things to go on to a lowrider. We have had visiting African drumming artists. We have done music teaching with Jenny Bird. We have had a variety of festivals and plays. We have the Santa Fe Chamber Music that comes twice a year in the spring. We've had robotics competition. We've done Alice in Wonderland with collaboration with Ballet Taos. We do Twirl Family Nights. We have done Taos Pueblo beadwork and artwork with the students. We have had a visiting puppeteer that taught students how to go ahead and puppet and make puppets. We have had dance choreography from from a group from Africa as well, right there, which I think it's on the next one. We had dancers from India that had come in. We had a visiting artist that went ahead and taught students how to do art and how to write stories. That was a published artist. We have done STEM activities where we're part of the Governor's STEM Challenge. We actually are one of the only middle schools that actually do that. We have had abuelas from Taos come in and teach our kids how to go ahead and make tortillas from scratch. We do steam building competitions. We do the Nutcracker performance with Ballet Taos. I play Santa Claus, and this year I am being a fat rat Elvis, which will be hilarious, I'm sure. And we've worked with local fisheries. As a matter of fact, for our fishery program that we had with one of our former teachers here, we had the highest birth rate for the brown trout that they were able to do in the classroom. And they actually outperformed, third graders outperformed college students for the birth rate that they had there. We have part of Film Prize Junior every year. We go ahead and do Future City. We've worked with Robert Cagnano, who is a visiting music artist, part of the Arcane Ramblers. Those are just a few. I couldn't list them all. So, next. I just thought this was a cool picture because we had a T-shirt day where we've given T-shirts out. Actually, part of the Indian Education Act was a Indian artist did a T-shirt. He went ahead and made something specifically for TISA. And we gave it to every student in the class. This student had the T-shirt, but he was like, well, I'm an artist too, and I want to make my own design. Next. Ro, who's an amazing teacher, and all of our teachers usually have some sort, like one of the things that we have as a criteria when teachers get in that I hire, I ask them, I go, that's great, you do teaching. So what do you do in your real life? Like, what is your passion that you do outside? So one of the things is that artist is actually, Ro is a music artist. She writes her own original music. She's been in the community for 30 years? 30 years or so. She's also a Zumba instructor, which of course, getting the kids up and running, but she actually incorporates music every day with her kids, playing guitar, teaching them songs. That has to do in first grade. Next. We also have kids that learn outside. We go outside all the time. We're right in the middle of northern New Mexico, Taos. We have some of the most beautiful scenery there is, and we take advantage of it. Next. These are just some pictures of the kids. Go on, next. That's a local farm that we visit. Kids go ahead and actually we're doing marigold necklaces that they were doing there. We also go ahead and have them doing it. They went to an orchard to go ahead and pick fruit that they went ahead and made apple cider and applesauce. Next. That's just us showing that we're outside. Next. And that is a blank screen. Next, which was video. Next. Oh, this was a cool thing that I just thought that I'd share. This is one of the projects that we had done and with the Governor STEM Challenge. The kids wanted to create a three-dimensional app where it was called Talk and Walk. Realized that in Taos, unfortunately, we have a very high teen suicide rate, and the kids wanted to create an app where somebody could talk to somebody, and that's what they did there. So next. We have academic supports for all our students. We go ahead and have an intensive summer school that is done every year that's open to our lowest performing students. It's not a babysitting time, it is academic time. So we really try to pick those kids that we go, hey, who needs help? Who can we help? Because unfortunately, we don't have a lot of teachers that want to teach during the summertime. So we really focus on that. We also have aftercare. We offer it every day to our parents for free to 5 o'clock. And if parents are late picking up kids, we have people that stay there late to make sure that they're there, and we don't give them a hard time because they couldn't make it on time. So we make sure we do what we need to do for our families. I want to have, because I've talked a lot, I want to go ahead and have Linda read this. So this is from our Equity Council. Allie Haney, she couldn't be here today because we still have school today. As a matter of fact, when I leave here, and hopefully you guys give me a good review, and then we leave here, I'm happy on my drive back, and I go back to work because we still have kids that we have to work with. So go ahead.
How do you?
Just do this.
Be sure to spell your last name. My name is Linda Sato, that's S-E-T-O. And I'm the founder and vice principal and governing council member. Dear Charter Renewal Board, I am sorry that I cannot be present in person before you. I have duties in Taos that prevent me from joining you today. As the TISA Equity Council lead for the past 4 years, I am pleased to communicate some of the ways that we have grown as a school towards greater equity for our students. Rich Gray-Rolf, our administrator, has been supportive every step of the way in receiving advisories from the Equity Council and going above and beyond in actualizing our school's growth in equity. While Equity Councils offer advice, administrators serve as captains at the helm, stirring schools towards positive change with said advice. TISA is a school where the needs of each individual matter and a place where students are not allowed to fall through the cracks. It is one of the most positive and supportive learning environments I have been witness to, and I am a firm believer that TISA provides safety nets for students because our close-knit community makes it impossible for a child to go unnoticed. In the beginning of the statewide equity movement, we attended the meetings provided by the Equity Division of the NMPED to obtain guidance on how to more deeply meet the needs of our diverse community. In those early years of participation, we decided that focusing on the quality of literature materials was a good place to start. We engaged in evaluating our school's reading materials and curriculum to determine the places where we could broaden the cultural and social perspectives being presented to students in daily lessons and in classroom libraries. Teachers were included in the conversations, and their input was integrated into book orders. We purged outdated books from our libraries and replaced those with culturally and socially relevant materials, shifting perspectives to include diverse experiences outside of the dominant paradigm, allow students of all backgrounds to see their personal experiences reflected in the school culture. Building the bridge between home cultures and that found at school is key to establishing equitable outcomes for marginalized populations. The accomplishment that I am most proud of grew from an advisory given a few years ago. In it, we recommended that TISA deeply dive into integrating Indigenous culture more fully by looking for community members from Taos Pueblo to guide our school community. This advice is manifested in Yvonne Trujillo, leading us as the president of our governing council. She has done so much to help us understand how to build a school community that truly integrates Indigenous culture cultural knowledge and traditions. She's brought Indigenous artists, dancers, and musicians to share their creativity with TISA. Her leadership has resulted in our Indigenous students receiving cultural education that brings tribal wisdom and traditions into the setting of a charter school. This not only fosters a supportive school culture for Indigenous students, but serves to extend the knowledge of diversity to all students at TISA. When we share cultures and learn to coexist harmoniously with admiration and curiosity concerning our differences, we move the world towards equity. Thank you for your time and consideration. Please support our charter in its continuous as we are doing good work. With more time, I am excited to see what we can grow at TISA. Please contact me directly if you have questions and comments you would like to discuss. Sincerely, Allison Haney, and that's Haney. She's also a member of our governing council, and she is the PE teacher at our school, as well as the Equity Council representative.
And
Thank
Steve.
you. Yeah.
Next. And next. And I think that you've already had your statement, but I have some pictures here that are really neat. So if there's anything that you want to talk about.
In this picture, we shared, they're called the Northern Southern.
Microphone, please, microphone.
From Jemez Pueblo, and we wanted to share the various cultures with our kids and educating them about the various cultures because they know about Taos Pueblo or they're learning about Taos Pueblo. But like I said, we do have a child that is from Okewinge, and we wanted to bring their thing in. And we've also invited other parents from like Alaska Native and Navajo to also bring in if they're willing to come share their culture with our students so that they can all get a little bit of social studies in this as well. So next.
Next.
So in this picture, we took them, the students down earlier this year to the Indian Pueblo Cultural Center. And as you notice in this one, they're all girls. It just so happened they were all girls in this picture. Then we took them to the Gathering of the Nations so that they could also just kind of get that experience because not many of our kids can afford to go do these kind of things. So we thought, kill two birds with one stone, take them and let them learn about the various tribes while we were down there.
Next.
So in this picture, this is my son Candido back here and first grader River Lujan. And we were filming at the Pueblo at the time. And again, because we have students that are not all from Taos Pueblo, I had our Pueblo kids give their peers a tour of their home. I wanted them to be the tour guide and teach them a little bit. And while we were doing this, we had a lady in the Pueblo that was selling prune pies. So I bought some prune pies from them because the kids were hungry, and the kids were all sitting on the Pueblo wall and they were eating them. And I just thought this was so cute that River tends to gravitate towards Candido as a mentor. They're not related or anything, but he tends to gravitate towards my son. So that's what that was. Just.
Next.
And this is going back to the Roxer Mox Day. We had Sadie take a picture of all the kids that wore the Mox that day, share their culture. Film Price Jr., this is the film that's Speaking with the Elders that they won the award for. And so this is in Albuquerque, beginning of the year.
Next.
This is while we were filming at Taos Pueblo. There's Mr. Gilbert Suazo, who is one of the elders that they interviewed. And it was a Pueblo setting inside one of the Pueblo homes where he sat on the couch, fire going. All the kids were sitting on the floor. And he was sharing stories and they were asking him questions while the older students were filming in the background.
Next.
This is the Buffalo Dancers as well. This is the Eagle Dancer that was part of their group.
Yep. Linda.
Oh, there's my name.
There's your.
Good morning, commissioners. My name is Linda Sato, Seto. Again, I'm the founder of TISA. 15 years ago, when we founded the school, we had envisioned a school that would be multicultural, community-oriented and involved, and academically rigorous using the integrated arts. And I believe in the last 5 years, I'm very proud to say that we are getting close to achieving those goals, and our vision of the school. We have, as Rich has said, we've achieved Spotlight School status for the last 3 years. And we're very proud of that, but we're also very proud to be able to serve the Taos community, which includes about 200 families with 215 students. Some of the accomplishments I am most proud of are the following. We've established 4 major events in our annual, year that we invite our parent community to, and our parents really look forward to participating in. The first of these is Pirate Literacy Night, where we all dress up like pirates and everyone is welcome to do that. And the kindergarten through 8th grade classes are involved. And this integrates reading activities with arts integration. And each of our classroom teachers has activities for students to go from classroom to classroom. We also involve our specialty teachers, performing arts, Spanish and visual arts teachers to do activities as well. The second event that we sponsor in the fall is the Lantern Walk, which is an annual event we've had all 15 years. We started with the very first one in 2010. And this is where the students spend several weeks making beautiful candlelit lanterns. And we gather at the school after dark. There's a photo right there of some of the lanterns. And they are taught songs, and we share a community. We invite their family and friends to come. And they sing songs and walk the path, and then at the end share food with each other. Then in the early spring, we sponsor a math night, which is where the whole school comes together, and each staff member, each classroom teacher provides activities that each student can participate in, no matter their age, from kindergarten through 8th grade. That's very successful too. So a lot of our parents and their students come to that as well. And then our 4th festival is in the springtime. We have started having a May Fair, which includes maypole dancing, crafts, food, music, and different activities. And this one is community-wide. We invite all of the Taos community to participate if they'd like to come as well. And some of the community events that we've been participating in, one of them is in the fall, is called the Glam Trash event, which is a fashion event that the town of Taos has. And young and old create fashion out of recycled materials. And so one of the major organizers is on our staff. And so we have sponsored a TISA Glam Trash fashion show, which is really fun. And they get prizes and all of that, and they get really excited. And then some of those students go on to exhibit in the town fashion show as well. We also participate in the Harwood Music Art Program. This is where the Harwood Museum is a local museum that's been in Taos, I don't know, many, many years, established with the early artists who came to Taos. And they have an art program for students through an education grant, and our students have been able to go over there, and they are educated in some of the art exhibits that are there. And then they get to do some sort of art-related activity that has to do with the art that they've just seen. We've also participated in Taos Fall Arts and Paseo, which is a program that's been established up in Taos. And TISA students have shown their artwork there, and they've participated in that for quite a few years. We also have been able to purchase a 25 by 75 long greenhouse. So that's a new program this year. We were able to get a grant, and here it is. Those are some of the beds that we've recently made. The grant has provided money to get soil to fill the beds with, and then mulch and all kinds of things. And we're planning to be implementing this program throughout this school year with the school-wide. And then we also have a robust mentorship program for our level 1 teachers in the classroom. They're mentored by 2 national board excuse me. Oh, they're mentored by 2 national board certified level 3 staff members. And we feel at TISA, we have a very supportive staff, and we support each other. And the arts are integrated in our classroom through our specialty teachers as well as our classrooms teachers. Last summer, we sent four staff members to the Focus for the Arts program in Denver at the Denver School for the Arts, and they've brought back their learning to TISA and shared it with our staff, and we will continue to do that this year. In academics, as Rich has talked about, I'm very proud of my part in our math program, and we've been able to make that 7% progress. So I ask that the commission, due to all of these wonderful accomplishments and more, renew our charter for the next 5 years. Thank you.
Public comment? Comment.
We do have public comment. We'll have people making public comment come up here. Candace?
Candido,
Sorry.
it's you. Huh?
Candido.
You can use this one. Oh, they have one over there. Oh, yeah.
Rujillo. Oh. Well, it's a really good school. Everyone's nice. There's lots of fun things to do. The field trips are great. It's really just a really good school. What else to say about it? Really good.
Thank you.
Missy can't hear you.
Hi, my name's Kristen O'Flaherty. That's O''F''L''A''HERTY. I'm a parent of a 8th grader at TISA, my daughter, and a 5th grader, my son. And I just wanted to come down today to speak in support of the charter renewal for TISA. Almost 10 years ago, when I was looking for where my daughter would go to kindergarten, at the time, TISA was split between 2 campuses and didn't have the best rating. But after visiting the kindergarten class, it was really clear that it was the right fit for her. She's the kind of kid you probably think of when you think of who goes to an art integrated school. Very creative, loves to make things. She's kind of had her own little art studio in her bedroom for years. And she's thrived there. My son, who's now a 5th grader, was not as artistically minded, and I did wonder if it was the right fit for him. But as busy working parents, we really couldn't figure out how to make 2 schools work, so we decided to give it a try. And what's been really great to see is how well TISA and the integrated art curriculum works for him. He has some learning challenges, which we talked about. He's comfortable with me telling you guys that he's dyslexic. That wasn't trade for extra dessert tonight. But the reading support and the special education support he's gotten at TISA has been excellent. The Orton Gillingham method that he's been provided with the last few years to help with his dyslexia has worked wonders. And really, that's kind of one of the big things of TISA. They just go beyond to support the needs of all their students. Also, the staff, I think as we've covered already, really does have a passion for education. And I wanted to say I appreciate all the opportunities within the community, the field trips and the programs and the grants that they get for the kids to participate. In particular, my son's a big fan of the skiing we do at Taos Ski Valley, their school program. And I just wanted to end by saying that, you know, they really do foster a culture of inclusivity, supportiveness, kindness, and that's what any kid wants for their kids, or any parent wants for their kids. So thank you.
That concludes public comment.
Commissioner Beck?
Um, usually I start out with some question stuff, but I don't really have any questions, to tell you the truth. I think it's a wonderful, program. I mean, that's the beauty of these renewal hearings. We get to learn about the schools. You know, I didn't know very much at all about your school, and I've learned a ton in the last, I think it's 32 minutes, right? We went over by 2 minutes. But, oh, okay, okay. All right, whatever that is, that's fine. I really appreciate that you're working and focused on the academic side, because it's obvious that your social emotional learning side is wonderful. I look at the Vista scores, and we have attendance in there, and it's usually all messed up. It doesn't a lot of times make any sense, except yours, which is 98% attendance. I can see why kids love coming there. It's pretty evident from what you're doing, your laundry list of all the exciting things you do. I guess I do have a question on you guys. Your facility is up to 297. That's your capacity. Okay, it says facility building capacity 297. This
So
is,
if you're talking about the building itself,
yeah,
yes,
yeah.
the building can go ahead and can hold 297 people.
Right, and your
Our capacity cap is
16.
216. So, yeah, I guess you could go ahead and put 297 people in there. That would be really uncomfortable.
Okay.
We're at the point right now where we have 24 students per classroom.
Right.
We have that's 9 teachers for those. We have our administration staff, which is 3. We have 3 special ed teachers. We have 4 specials teachers, and many of those right now we're 3 people in a place. You know, 3 people in a.
So you're cramped.
Oh, cramped would be an understatement.
Okay.
But we are looking to this year to build a second building
Okay.
to go ahead and give us office space, and as well as to some classrooms. Our ultimate hope is to do a theater, because as you can see, the things that are in there, our little multi-purpose build room is where we have our lunches, which are we have Farmhouse Cafe that does organic lunch for us. So it's all organic lunches and breakfast for our kids. But that's also the only space that we have for that. But we've raised money or we've been really good with our financials. We have money and
Yeah.
savings in order for us to do that. Now we're just trying to
Yeah,
figure
because
out
you're
how
the
to-
kind of school we want to expand for sure.
Yeah.
You know, that's fairly obvious. You don't do transportation, right? No buses?
No.
Okay.
No, we have a bus. We have a
I saw it.
bus
Yeah,
driver.
I saw it.
And we have one other bus driver, but this bus driver does not want to go ahead and drive all the kids in the morning, only if I want to give myself a stroke.
which we don't want. All right, I have no other questions. It's a wonderful program.
Thank you.
And, you know, I just love to expand it if we could.
Commissioner Taylor?
Thank you. I just want to say that you all should be just so very, very proud of what you've established and the progress you've made over the years. I feel like this the academics are so respectable. The programs that you're offering, the photos of the kids and the activities that you guys offer, the field trips. I mean, I just feel like you're covering all the bases. And I have absolutely, I mean, I don't think this is one of those schools that you could send us a letter with your data and some photos, and I would say, all right, let's sign them up. Let's get them going again. I have no hesitation whatsoever in renewing this, you know, this charter. So I just want to say good job. Thank you. Thank you for your presentation. Thank you for being there. y'all should be very proud.
Thank you.
Commissioner Burt and then Commissioner Cuddio.
Thanks. Good morning. I think just like Commissioner Taylor just said, this school actually definitely gives me, expedited renewal in the future vibes and what that might look like. Because I do think, I would love for you to just be able to send in a paper saying, we want to renew, here's the record of performance that shows it, and give us our time back with our kids. Like, let's take care of keep taking care of our kids and not, have to do this. So I'll definitely, I think when we think of expedited renewal in the future, this is a school that I would like keep in mind of like, what would this look like for a school like this that has so many greens and like the teeny tiniest of yellow, like barely yellow. So, yeah, just congratulations. And I did, like, you make the job as an authorizer really simple. And so ideally we can step back, let you keep doing your thing and just take any red tape down for you and let you keep moving forward. I love that. I feel like your school is a really good example of what you prioritize is what you make success out of. And I really appreciate the ideas that you all have come up with as adults that really serve your students in really special ways. The inclusivity of, you have a single student from somewhere, we're going to make them feel like their culture matters too. And that's incredible and so special. And honestly, it's the only thing that gives me, I always get hesitant on asking schools to grow bigger because sometimes schools can lose those like special little touches as you grow. So I love the thoughtfulness of the school. I do hope that the continued focus on academics, so that you continue that growth year over year. And I would love in the next 5 years if you were up in the 60, 70% for proficiency in your school. It'd be incredible. And I can't wait to talk about this school. And you want to see that they can integrate culture and learning in the same way? Go look at Taos Integrated. I don't want to hear it from anyone that they can't do it. Because when there's a school like yours that is doing it seemingly seamless to us and probably to your students, I know for you all, it takes a lot of coordination to make it look seamless. It just makes me really grateful. I have 2 questions, and it's mostly just going to be why are these things so good? And it is, one of them is the attendance. What would you say is attributing that success of having so many students show up every day?
That was the big thing that we had was when there was changes that was to our calendar, when they were having all the stuff about the calendars, where they were saying, number 1, 4 days a week, that really helped out. Number 2, having aftercare, free aftercare for our parents. The thing that I would say is that because of the, not for all of you, but the PED forced us to go ahead and do more hours. So by doing that, that meant that I couldn't leverage staff to get there earlier. So, that was the only thing that would really help out too, is if I was able to get staff to come earlier. But if you're going to mandate that we're doing over the hours of every other school, because one year we took money for those extended days, that seems like that really hurts us. Because that's the thing. Our parent population, we have over 86% of our parent population is free and reduced lunch. That means most of those parents work 2 jobs. They got to go do 2 jobs to go ahead and go to work. Last thing they want to worry about at the end of the day is, do my kid have homework? Do I have to worry about a meal? We cover that for them. So at that point, they go, hey, there's no reason why I don't bring my kid to school. Because it's not the kids that are not coming to school, it's the parents wanting to bring their kids to school. So that's the thing that I would say is implore everybody, hey, please let us go back to the hours that we originally did, which was 1,080 hours. We were doing great with that. This way I could provide the services that my families and my community needs. I mean, we're Taos. You've got 2 huge employers, only 2. The hospital, and we have schools. And most of those parents don't work at either. So that means they're working over at the Maverick gas station, and then they have to go ahead and do another job over at a fast food joint. It's just where we really try our hardest to help those people that need it. The other thing that we have too is that we focus on our special needs kids. And it's a double-edged sword for us because I think the average is supposed to be 14% of your population is special ed. Our average is close to 36% of our population is special education. So it's hard for us. But one of the things that we do is we go, hey, your kid's having problems with work. Keep them after school. Because after school, we have four teachers, certified teachers that give them homework support. So it's like we say to the parents, hey, if you keep your kid after school, they stay there till 5 o'clock, they have no homework. So when you go home, all you got to do is make your dinner, sit down with TV, say goodnight, and then go to bed and do whatever you got to do next. So.
I appreciate that so much. As someone who genuinely believes in that like transition that has never really happened from parental involvement to family engagement, I think a lot of times families, especially in New Mexico, get villainized and are seen as barriers, not assets to schools. And especially when I hear attendance, right? Attendance is an issue, not for your school, but for just about every other school almost in the country. And it's disheartening when I hear school leadership say, it's the parents, it's the family, and I really genuinely appreciate, like, once again, this is a really good example to use of, okay, yeah, families are struggling to get the kids and let's remove those barriers, and that's so pro family. And I'm so grateful to once again, to be able, if I hear another adult ever say that, and be like, call it Taos Integrated, see what they do, talk to them about what they're doing, because families are assets. Yeah.
We're problem solvers. Like
Not all are, so I
I
appreciate
tell
it.
people all the time is
Yeah.
that there's two professions. You have the profession of lawyers. Lawyers are great. They're wonderful people. They really are. Our lawyer is a great person. Your lawyer is a great person.
Yeah.
Whoever's a lawyer. But lawyers look for problems. That's all they have to do. That's their job. Their job is to look for problems. As an educator, your job is to find solutions. So I always tell people, what's your problem? Okay, let's figure it out, because that's my job. So.
No, I appreciate it. And actually, I mean, I respect those roles and divisions, right? Like, you need people who are looking out for the problems. You need people who are looking for that. And you need people in a different realm that are solve the problems before it gets to them, So that's, I really appreciate it. And to me, the attitude, demeanor of the board, of the leadership makes, like, that's why I'm such a firm believer in accountability, because to me, it seems like you all focus a lot on your inputs. You focus on making sure students have what they need, families have what they need, the teachers seem to be very supported and have what they need. And the outcomes just kind of follow. Like, they just happen when you do all those, when you put all those things in place, you get those 3 to 7% gains every year, right? When people have what they need. So I'm just grateful for that. I noticed as the years kind of have continued over your contract term, your cash on hand has increased. Do you have plans that you're saving up for? Can you talk a little bit about what that might be?
I'll let Nicole talk.
Okay.
Hi, good morning. My name is Nicole Abeta. I'm the finance director, school business official. I've been with TISA, my last name, Abeta, Abeyta. I've been with TISA for 14 years. Therefore, I have been through all the different stages of the school as it's grown. We've had our challenges, and I have been the school business official for the last 6 years. In regards to our financials, yes, we are planning to increase our facility space. As mentioned before, we're busting at the seams. We would like to grow our student count, and the only way to do that is to get a bigger facility. So that is our current plans right now.
Awesome, that's great. Yeah, I mean, this is definitely, like Commissioner Taylor said, I would have been very happy if I had a governing board signature, head administrator signature that said, renew our school, and we say, okay, because what the data that you're able to provide and that CSD is able to provide on your behalf is, I mean, there's nothing more I could ask for other than continue doing what you're doing. Don't let off the gas ever. You know, that's the only thing I could ask is don't stop keeping up that urgency, keeping up the problem solving, the solution making, because it seems to be working. But I always am like, just keep it going. Don't be like, okay, great. They loved us. We're good. You know, so, and I do not get that at all from you all. And once again, I'm just grateful for it. So thank you.
Commissioner Carrillo and then Commissioner Brower.
Hi, thanks so much for coming down. It's I've got your website up here where it says art is the lens for learning. And then I'm just loving all the pictures and all the pictures that you showed us. And as much as I love the idea, and your school was certainly qualified to expedited renewal, I still want you to, even when we do expedited renewal, Commissioner Burt, I want people to come down to talk to us and see us and show us pictures because it's so joyful. And, you know, we turn over, I mean, even though a lot of us have run again, so we'll be serving another 4 years, but you have a turn here where people don't know about your school. And the fact that you come here and explain everything and show us so much, I just love that piece of the renewal process. And I would just, and I know it's cumbersome, but very selfishly, I love it when people have to come here and talk to us. And I was really grateful to hear from you and your experience at the school. I didn't take down your name, I'm sorry. And that you all came down with your kids and everything. So let's see, I have a note here. Curious because I wrote this down because Ms. Abeta, you said you'd been with the school for 14 years. And so, and obviously, then Mr. Graywolf, longer than that, right?
I've been with the school for 10.
For 10.
This will be year 9.
Okay.
I was here for when Commissioner Gibson was on for the first 5 years. I actually
Okay.
came on in that June.
Great. Well, there's continuity, right? And that's so key to success. So everyone that is bought into the vision wants to continue to see it grow, and you're not having turnover, and that's so important. So one of the things I was very impressed with, I mean, straight out of the gate, Mr. Guerrero, you addressed math. You, like one of the first things you said when you started to present to us, you talked about math and you said, we recognize that this particular piece is not going as well as we wanted to. And I mean, well, you know this, we're finding that all over the state and our charters and even districts are really struggling with math. But it's those schools that don't just recognize the problem, but working on solutions. How are we going to get this better? And that was one of the first things you mentioned to us, and then it came up later in the slideshow. So thank you for that. What you spoke with Ms. Bird about the idea of really supporting these kids after school, because you're supporting the parents. And I'm not a huge fan of the amount of homework that's traditionally, I think it's stupid, the amount of homework that is just assigned constantly, because kids need to play. Kids need to play with their brothers and sisters. Kids need to do all these things after school besides just sweat more work, right? And giving kids the opportunity to get this out of the way and finish, and the support from teachers and then the parents get that support too. So really applaud you for doing that. So I mean, the photographs, lots of happy kids, right? And very colorful kids. I mean, everything that everybody was wearing, it was like every day was like this festival of color and of fun. Yeah, and that's why you have the attendance. And on the attendance, I wrote down here, because I mentioned this group a lot. So I'm on the Santa Fe Board of Education for 9 years, right? One of the things that I learned, and I learned about this district, Guilford County, North Carolina, that became an arts-embedded district. So all of their schools across, K through high school. And there were some teachers that did not buy in initially. The idea that they were going to have to integrate art into whatever core subject they may be teaching. But when everyone started to get on board, what they found was that their attendance was shot up. And what I referred to when I went to their session as the happiness index. And even those teachers that weren't that supportive, they found a way through professional development and peer support to integrate art into everything they did. So they just created a district with engaged, happy people. And that's why I still have you. I think art is the lens for learning. And I wish that was something that I could have done more of up in Santa Fe Public Schools. We talked about, I wrote this down, can't do it. Oh, and I wrote districts. For a town the size of Taos, y'all have a lot of charters. I mean, just state charters alone, you have 5. And then you have other charters. It's just, which to me, unfortunately, shows an extreme lack of confidence in the district. But it's that way all over the state. But districts can do this. And that's what I just wish that the School Boards Association would kind of get on board with. They can, unleash themselves from the shackles of what they've learned in their doctorate programs and everything else and step up to what kids and parents need. And they would just find so much success. And I get really disappointed in districts. On your board, what's the longevity? What's the general tenure on your board in terms of board members?
Well, we recently, I think in the last few years, we changed our policies so board members they serve 5 years, but they can opt for another 5 years. So 10 years at the maximum for board members. We have long-term board members. I've been on the board for 5 years, and I am extending it to 10 years. So
That's fantastic. And we've made board support a cornerstone of what we're doing this year and next year's. And since Ms. Chavez just got up, if Ms. Russell, you could let her know, because in our next conference, we plan to have some breakout sessions with successful boards in the state are going to share out why they're successful boards. Because the minute boards start to go downhill, the school just starts to crater. And the idea of having people know it's going to be a 5-year term, so they know what they're getting into, and they're going to be there. Again, continuity, right? That's a great idea. You're the first school I know of to have that people know they're going to be signing up for a 5-year term. I think it's outstanding. Just another reason why the school performs as it does. I have a question, Ms. Sato. Why did you, 15 years ago, what compelled you to want to open this charter school?
Well, I have a Waldorf education background.
No kidding.
And
We're going to
so
open a Waldorf in fall.
I know. I'm excited about that new school. That is amazing.
Me
I
too.
used to go to that school and observe and get ideas. I helped establish 3 private schools in Taos before I did this one. And I have a teaching background as well. But anyway, I went into the public schools. I worked for the Indian education program as a tutor and also did some other things in the public schools, different schools around Taos. And I found when I integrated my background, integrated arts is what I did. When I went in there, students were so happy, and successful. And I thought, well, I want this to be something that any child who wants to in this county can be exposed to and learn through this way. And that's why I established the school, because I wanted it offered for free,
You must be super proud of where you are now. Yeah, I can't even imagine. Yeah, that's fantastic. I don't have really questions on, it's all green on your, you guys know what you're doing. And you're reaching kids where they are and inspiring them. And just thank you. Thank you so much for all you do, the example that you show other schools in the state, and hopefully even the district, about what's possible, right? Because they could do that in Taos District, integrate arts in everything they do. All right, thank you so much. Thank you for being here.
Commissioner Brown.
Great, thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, TISA team. Thank you, Ms. Trujillo, for the work that you've been doing and going beyond like tribal consultation, but truly bringing in like traditional indigenous values into the school and opportunities for all students to learn. Thank you, River. Is that your name? Thank you so much for coming up and and talking in front of us too. I know that takes courage, and it's great to have you here for that. And thank you for mentoring the younger student. Maybe that was River. Okay, sorry about that. I just want to commend you all for the work that you've been doing. Um, I wanted to just echo, like, I think it's, I'm going to vote for a 5-year renewal for sure. I think we have opportunities to learn from you, and other schools have opportunities to learn from you all. Um, something that I'm real excited about when I look at the data, especially from the recent release data, when I look at your economically disadvantaged students, like you track um, you track above what all New Mexico students do within the economically disadvantaged. So it's, you're 25% above New Mexico in science proficiency when it comes to apples with economically disadvantaged students. So I think that's some really great numbers there. And when you see oftentimes economically disadvantaged subgroups outperforming all students, that's something that I pay attention to, and that I think that I get just profoundly excited about in terms of what that means for our young people. I think the next step is to think about the other subgroups in your school and ensure that they continue to grow as well. And I have no doubt about that. I think that when you started, Mr. Gray Wolf, today, I think you did mention the plan for sustainable growth is what I'll call it, like over the course of time. And I think I have no doubt that that's going to happen. And I just wanted to just amplify the work that you all have been doing with economically disadvantaged students, as well as students with disabilities too. There's a lot of great results in there that are outperforming other areas of our state with regard to that subgroup. So keep it up. I look forward to seeing you all in 5 years or less. And Commissioner Carrillo, I think that, to your point, I do love these opportunities, and I also just think about the amount of time and effort it takes for schools to come down. And maybe as we think about opportunities for expedited, or whatever we want to call a potential way to work with our higher flying spotlight schools, we can also go to them like we do in other opportunities. So thinking about you all inviting us up for your holiday whatevs, or special projects, special things, so we can be elbow to elbow with you up there as well. So just a thought that I have about how we can really have a true reciprocal relationship, especially when we know that our schools are doing great things. Thank you very much.
Yeah, and any of the commissioners or any of you that want to come up, you are welcome to come anytime, unannounced. If you're going up for skiing, any day of the week, you just give me a call, except July. I am not going to give you a tour in July, but I'll give you a tour any other day, any day of the week. Open invitation.
Thank you. I want to remind everyone, I said, let's vote before they started any of this.
Yeah.
So, just thank you. I really do appreciate and applaud all the work that you do. And I want to echo Commissioner Brower's comments on the tribal consultation, because I think with many of our other school entities, the tribal consultation is looked at as, oh, and we also have to do that. And it's not integrated into the fabric of the school. And do appreciate the fact that even though the Department of Indian Ed identifies after a school reaches X amount of students, you're going above and beyond that. And it's even if there's one student, we're going to recognize their culture, and not just because, no, we don't have to do that because we don't have 5 of you or whatever it is. So thank you very much. I appreciate the future lowriders pictures. I think it was CBS Sunday Morning last Sunday did a whole segment on lowriders and highlighted Espanola and the celebrations that they do. But I know it's something that many I know of our schools are beginning to, a school down by me did a lowriders bike project. So it's something that's once again being recognized and celebrated. So with your secret sauce that you have, what kind of professional development do you do to help support your ongoing efforts
You mean with our community?
with your
With
staff?
my staff, we do a professional development once a month, and it does include art integration, and it's everything from, like right now, our focus has been, of course, our math continues to be the focus until that goes ahead and gets further up. That's one of our big things, but we do have that time to collaborate on ideas, talk about specific individual families and students and their needs and how to address those specific needs, and then just celebrating the projects that teachers are doing.
Thank you. No. When you're looking at your build out, you've got what, 15 or 16 portables? Oh, you don't have portables?
We have
Oh, I
modular
thought,
buildings.
when I was
They're
looking
not-
at the lease, maybe,
So the
maybe I just read it wrong.
Well, what it is, it's their modular buildings.
Okay,
Modular
gotcha.
buildings. There's two currently, one that goes ahead and houses elementary and one that houses middle school. So if you're thinking about it, it is divided in a vertical
Right.
way, like as opposed to what you would think is a traditional, because it looks like regular buildings.
Right.
So it just happens to be that there's 16 of them.
They're
if you-
prefabricated.
Prefabricated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're looking at adding,
We're looking at adding, we're looking at 3 classrooms, 3 office space, and then hopefully a theater. But that may be an additional 5 years after we go ahead and get this space that we're looking at. And it's not about expanding. It literally is, hey, we need a space for our art. We need a space for our, for a theater classroom, and then we need space for the teachers that we have in special ed, and so.
so when you're looking at possibly expanding, have you ever thought about pre-K?
Yeah, we have thought about pre-K. It's just a matter of trying to find the money and the grants that they had previously was that they wanted you to have a building
Right,
prior to you being able to do a pre-K, which is, it's just not possible. I mean, we're really lucky. We it comes out to almost 5 acres of land in Taos. Unfortunately, it's 5 acres of not anything on it. So that's there. So, and then Linda wanted me to mention that by the way, we're a community school. So
okay, thank you, I
Sure,
appreciate it.
yeah.
And thank you for everything that you do, I really do appreciate it. Sure. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry.
I also want to thank you guys because I, really didn't know what kind of advocate for charter schools I was until I started on this commission. And you guys give me so much, it's thrilling to see a charter school that is doing everything and doing it without, it does seem like you guys just are breezing through that. And I know that that's not the case. I know that it's hard work, but I hope that at some point during the legislature, you have a chance to advocate for our charter school community and give some ideas to some of these legislators that have sometimes such a negative attitude about charter schools and how remarkable your situation is and how that in our state where we're so decrepit in our educational system, that you found a way to do that, and with disadvantaged students, special needs students, it didn't seem to matter. And all the excuses we hear of why the schools are not doing well, and we hear a lot of those also. No excuses from you. You guys right away thought your math scores weren't stellar, and you deal with it. We have schools that their math scores are horrendous. They're not even close to the district scores. And if you can't even keep up with the districts, what's the point? But you guys picked that up right away and dealt with it. I just am ecstatic for your school. And I will, if I can make it up there, I will come visit you guys. But I just want to give you all the praise that I can, and also ask you to be a light for the charter school community, because you certainly are. You are that light, and you can display that, put it out on a lampstand. Say thank you. I say thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Goodhue?
We're ready for a motion, I assume. So the one thing I'll say before I make the motion is you're why and I said this with a couple schools yesterday, you're why I love working in the state charter school movement. Schools like yours and you. So thank you for all you do. So with that, I move that the Public Education Commission approve the renewal application for Taos Integrated School of the Arts for a 5-year term without conditions.
Second. There's a motion by Commissioner Carrillo and a second by Commissioner Gibson.
Commissioner Hingham,
Absolutely.
Commissioner Brower,
Yes.
Commissioner Manus,
Yes.
Commissioner Taylor,
Yes.
Commissioner Burt,
Yes.
Vice Chair Carrillo,
Yes.
Chair Gibson,
Yes.
Secretary Beck, yes. There are 8 votes for, 0 votes against. The motion passes. Congratulations.
Thank you. Congratulations. And we are in recess until 11.